Hello students, in the last class we discussed about the compounds of the oxygen. One is the dioxygen, another one is the oxide, and the third compound is an ozone. Ozone, this is most important one. This ozone is an allotropic form of oxygen. It is the one of the allotropic form of oxygen which is present in higher altitude, of in our atmosphere, as ozone layer, this ozone present in a higher altitude in our atmosphere as an ozone layer formed from the atmospheric oxygen in the presence of the sunlight. How that ozone layer formed in the atmosphere means by using atmospheric oxygen in the presence of sunlight forms as an ozone layer. That ozone layer protect the earth surface. It protect the earth surface. Ozone layer protect the earth surface from the UV rays. From the UV rays protects the earth surface. That ozone layer protects the earth surface from the UV rays. Then you consider the preparation. It is important for the 2 marks. Very simple reaction. Ozone is prepared by passing silent electric discharge. Silent electric discharge through dry oxygen. Through the dry oxygen, if we pass silent electric discharge, that is current, that oxygen converted into ozone. Then to balance this reaction, 3O2 gives 2O3. This is a simple reaction. This product form we can call as an ozonized oxygen. This is a preparation by passing silent electric discharge through the dry oxygen. The product form, that oxygen converted into ozone. If we pass the silent electric discharge, that is electric current, into dry oxygen, oxygen get converted into ozone. That product we called as the ozonized oxygen. Very simple reaction. 3O2 gas gives 2O3 gas. Then if you know the value delta H naught, enthalpy of the reaction, that is of plus 142 kilojoule per mole. Enthalpy of the formation value is positive. That is formation of the ozone. Formation of ozone is an endothermic. It is endothermic in nature, endothermic process, heat is absorbed. Hence, it is necessary to use the silent electric discharge. They can consider why silent electric discharge is used in the preparation of the ozone means formation of ozone is endothermic in nature. Hence, we have to pass the silent electric discharge. If to prevent the decomposition, to prevent the decomposition during the formation of the ozone, you have to maintain the silent electric discharge because formation of ozone is an endothermic in nature. That is, preparation of ozone is by passing silent electric discharge through dry oxygen. This get 1 mark. Then for writing the reaction, 3O2 gas gives 2O3. Enthalpy of the formation is plus 142 kilojoule per mole. For this reaction, you get the 1 mole. If they ask, why during the formation of ozone, we have to maintain a silent electric discharge means, because the formation of ozone is an endothermic in nature. To prevent the decomposition of ozone into oxygen, we have to maintain the silent electric discharge. Then next you consider the properties. Then next one is the properties. This ozone is a pale blue gas. It is a pale blue gas. Pale blue gas. Dark blue liquid. Dark blue liquid. Dark blue liquid. And violet. Violet black solid. That is, in the solid form, violet black. In the liquid form, dark blue. In the gaseous form, pale blue gas. It is slightly soluble in water. It is sparingly or slightly soluble in water. It is slightly soluble in water, while more soluble. It is more soluble in CCl4, carbon tetrachloride. Then ozone has characteristic smell. In small concentration, it is harmless. In a small concentration, if you inhale the ozone in small concentration, it is an harmless gas. It is harmless in nature. While in large quantities, if you inhale in large quantities, it is highly poisonous. It is highly poisonous in nature. In large quantities, it is poisonous in nature. Then ozone is diamagnetic in nature. It is diamagnetic in nature. Why it is diamagnetic in nature means it contains the paired electron. If you consider oxygen, dioxygen, it is unpaired according to MOT. It contains unpaired electron. It is paramagnetic. While ozone contains a paired electron, hence it is diamagnetic in nature. Then ozone is thermodynamically unstable. It is unstable in nature compared to the dioxygen. Compared to dioxygen, ozone is unstable. Ozone is unstable with respect to dioxygen. Why ozone is unstable in nature? When ozone decomposes O3 gas into O2. O3 means 2O3, then 3O2 gas. Then delta H value that becomes a negative. That is, if you observe the decomposition of ozone into oxygen, that entropy value, 2 moles of the gaseous reactant convert into 3 moles. That means delta S is positive. One of the thermodynamic parameter, entropy, delta S increases, positive. And enthalpy, change in enthalpy for this reaction is negative. It is an exothermic. Formation of ozone is endothermic, while decomposition of ozone is exothermic. We know that criteria for spontaneity. In the first thermodynamics, we studied about the criteria for spontaneity. If delta H is negative, delta S is positive, then delta G means an Gibbs free energy. Delta G is a negative. Always delta G becomes negative if delta H negative and delta S is positive. If delta G negative means the process is said to be the spontaneous. The decomposition of ozone into oxygen is spontaneous in nature. Hence, because of that negative Gibbs energy, hence in a very high concentration, if you consider very high concentration of ozone, it is explosive. It is explosive in nature. This is the stability. Ozone is unstable with respect to dioxygen. Why ozone is unstable with respect to dioxygen means decomposition of ozone into oxygen is an exothermic in nature. That is delta H is negative. And during that process, entropy, change in entropy, delta S becomes positive. If delta H negative, delta S positive means always delta G becomes negative at all temperature. That is, ozone decomposes into oxygen. There is a large change, negative value of free energy. There is a large increase, large negative value of the free energy. Hence, that ozone into oxygen is spontaneous in nature. That means it is an unstable. Spontaneous means it takes place by its own. That means ozone is unstable with respect to oxygen. Due to instability, if you take high concentration of the ozone, it is explosive. It gets explode. It is explosive in the nature under very high concentration. This is about the physical properties. Next, you study the chemical properties. Next, you consider chemical properties. Chemical properties. Among the chemical properties, most important one is ozone behaves as an oxidizing agent. Oxidizing, it is a powerful oxidizing agent. Why ozone is a powerful oxidizing agent? Means O3 decomposes to give nascent oxygen and dioxygen. O3 donates the nascent oxygen. Hence, ozone is a powerful oxidizing agent. Ozone is a powerful oxidizing agent because it donates the nascent oxygen. Then for this oxidizing property, first example is that ozone oxidize lead sulfide. Lead sulfide formula is PbS. Lead sulfide into lead sulfate, very most important one. For the 3 marks, they can ask preparation of the ozone and what is the action of the ozone on lead sulfide. This is very important one. Ozone oxidize lead sulfide into lead sulfate. For that one, reaction is PbS plus O3. Lead sulfide formula PbS. When reacts with ozone, ozone oxidizes lead sulfide into lead sulfate. Lead sulfate formula is PbSO4. Then ozone get reduced into dioxygen. PbSO4 plus O2. You have to practice this reaction. Very, very important one. Similarly, one more oxidizing property is ozone oxidize iodide ion, I minus ion, iodide ion into iodine, iodide ion into iodine. For that one, reaction is I minus iodide ion plus O3 forms the iodide ion get oxidized to I2 iodine and ozone converted into dioxygen. Then, and in addition to that one, OH minus get evolved. OH minus get evolved. For this reaction, you have to consider the water also. O3 plus H2O. Then, to balance this reaction, consider 2I minus. 2I minus, then I2 O2 plus 2OH minus. This is the reaction of iodide into iodine. Then you have to consider the quantitative method for estimating the ozone gas. Quantitative method for estimating the ozone. Quantitative method for estimating the ozone gas. For this one, you consider ozone when treated with potassium iodide solution. Ozone O3 when treated with potassium iodide solution in the presence of the borate buffer. In the presence of the borate buffer of pH value 9.2. Ozone treated with potassium iodide in the presence of the borate buffer. Then same, instead of Ki, we are using I minus. Ki minus is produced from the Ki only. Hence ozone oxidized potassium iodide into iodine. I2 is liberated. This liberated iodine, when treated with standard solution. Now, standard solution means whose strength is known, strength, concentration, molarity. A solution whose strength is known, it is called standard solution. That liberated iodine is treated with standard solution of sodium thiosulfate. Sodium thiosulfate is Na2S2O3. Commonly we are considered as an iodometric titrations. In iodometric titration, to determine the strength of that iodine, we are using the standard solution of sodium thiosulfate. Sodium thiosulfate. This reaction is used for the quantitative method, estimating the ozone gas. If you know the liberated, what is the quantity of iodine liberated, then to liberate that quantity of iodine, you can calculate the what amount of ozone is required. Based on that one, you can estimate the ozone. This is the simple method. For how can you estimate the ozone means, for theoretical point, for 2 marks, just you write this one. That is ozone treated with potassium iodide solution in the presence of the borate buffer. I2 is liberated. Iodine is liberated. The liberated iodine is titrated against the standard solution of sodium thiosulfate. Thereby, we can estimate the amount of the ozone. That is, how can you estimate the ozone? Means by knowing the volume of iodine liberated. That is, what is the volume of iodine consumed? That is by using molarity equation. M1V1 equal to M2V2. The sodium thiosulfate solution molarity is known because it is a standard solution. What volume is consumed, that can be calculated by using the titration, by conducting the titration. Then we know the molarity, volume of the thiosulfate and volume of the iodine liberated. Thereby you can calculate the strength of the iodine. By knowing the strength of the iodine, you can calculate the ozone, what amount of the ozone is consumed. This is the quantitative estimation. Just for theoretical point, you write this much only. Ozone treated with potassium iodide in the presence of the borate buffer, iodine is liberated. That liberated iodine is titrated against the standard solution of the sodium thiosulfate solution. Thereby, you can estimate the ozone quantitatively. This is about the quantitative estimation. Then ozone also oxidize. Oxides of the nitrogen. That is, oxides of nitrogen here we are using is nitric oxide. Oxides of nitrogen, nitric oxide, NO. Ozone also oxidizes nitric oxide into nitrogen dioxide. This is also important for completing the reaction. They are consider this reaction. NO, nitric oxide means NO, O3. NO treated with ozone forms NO2 and O2. Already we know that ozone present in the upper layer of our atmosphere. These oxides of the nitrogen generally released by the jet engines, that is aeroplane. Oxides of the nitrogen, they are released by the aeroplane. When ozone is present in the upper atmosphere, that nitric oxide released by the jet engine reacts with an ozone layer converted into nitrogen dioxide. Hence, this reaction is responsible for the depletion of ozone layer. Depletion of the ozone layer. Name the reaction responsible for depletion of ozone layer. Name that an ozone reacts with oxides of the nitrogen like nitric oxide, they are oxidized into nitrogen dioxide. How that nitric oxide released means by using the jet engine. That the jet engine releases that nitric oxide, that ozone present in the atmosphere. Hence, ozone oxidizes nitric oxide to nitrogen dioxide. This reaction is responsible for the depletion of the ozone layer. In addition to oxides of the nitrogen, another major cause for the depletion of the ozone layer is by the freons. Freons means already we are studied in the haloalkanes chapter. Freons means the chlorofluorocarbon compounds, CFCs, chlorofluorocarbon compounds of methane and ethane. Chlorofluorocarbon compounds of methane and ethane were commonly called as the freon. This question considered for the 1 mark. What are freons? Freons means the chlorofluorocarbon compounds of methane and ethane, which are mainly used in the refrigerators. These CFCs also responsible for the depletion of the ozone layer. This is about the oxidizing property. This is most important one. Even in the competitive exam, they can take this oxidizing property. One more, for the competitive, for in NCERT, they mentioned only this reaction. You can also consider 2 more examples like tailing of mercury and tarnishing of silver. They are used for the competitive exams only. In the theory exam, they are considered only these 4 reactions. Next, you consider tailing of mercury. This tailing of mercury means mercury sticks to the surface and loses its mobility or loses its meniscus. It is called tailing of mercury. Tailing of mercury means mercury sticks to the surface, glass surface, and loses its mobility or loses its meniscus. It is called as tailing of mercury. The tailing of mercury is due to the reaction of mercury treated with ozone forms an Hg2O and O2, 2Hg. This is also an example for oxidizing property, but for theory exam it is not required. Then one more is tarnishing of silver. Tarnishing of silver means silver metal. If you kept the silver metal for long duration, in daily life you observe the silver you kept open to the open air. You kept for open air for a long period. Silver becomes darkened. It becomes black. Silver becomes black. It is called as a tarnishing of the silver. Tarnishing of silver means silver becomes blackened. It becomes blackened due to the oxidation and reduction. That is 2Ag plus O3 that converted into Ag2O plus O2, and similarly Ag2O plus O3 converted into Ag plus O2. It is 2Ag converted into 2O2. This is about the tarnishing of the silver. First reaction, in the first reaction Ag silver is in the 0, 2 plus 1. That means this is an oxidation. Due to that oxidation, it converted into Ag2O. Then the second reaction plus 1 converted to 0. That reaction is reduction reaction. That reaction we can call as the tarnishing of the silver. This is about the chemical properties of an ozone molecule. Then ozone structure is angular. Ozone has angular structure. This is the ozone structure. To write these lone pairs. Here 3 lone pairs. Here 1 lone pair. Then for this one resonance structure is same. Here single bond to this double bond. Here 3 lone pairs. Here 2 lone pairs. This is 1 lone pair. This is the resonance structure. That ozone has an angular structure. All the bond lengths are identical. 128 picometer. You take either single bond or double bond. Bond lengths are identical. Why bond lengths are identical? Means due to resonance. Due to resonance. This is also important for the competitive. Structure of the ozone is angular. Bond lengths are identical. Single bond length or double bond length is identical due to that of the resonance. Then the uses of that ozone is used as a germicide. It is used as a germicide, disinfectant, and for sterilizing water. And used as a bleaching of oil. Used as a bleaching agent. Bleaching of oil, ivory, starch, so on. This is used as a bleaching agent. Why it is used as a bleaching agent? Means bleaching action of ozone is due to that of oxidation, and it is permanent in nature. It is permanent. In the next classes, you can consider the bleaching actions of ozone, that is sulfur dioxide and chlorine. Totally sulfur dioxide, chlorine and ozone. And in first year syllabus, you have studied about the hydrogen peroxide bleaching properties. Sulfur dioxide and hydrogen peroxide bleaching properties is temporary, while chlorine and ozone bleaching properties are permanent. That bleaching action of ozone is mainly due to that of an oxidation. Bleaching property means removal of colored substance. Colored matter converted into colorless. It is called bleaching action. Bleaching property of ozone is permanent in nature, mainly due to that of the oxidation. This is about the uses. In the next class, we can study about that sulfur and its compounds.